Want to become so rich you're almost unrecognizable? Because friend, we can be rich in like 10 years, like officially millionaires. And I know you're thinking, but Nana, a recent survey reported that Americans would need $500,000 to feel financially secure and $1 million to retire. But at the same time, wages have barely increased since the 80s. Over half of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and the poorest 70% of US households don't even have a savings account. So, how, Sway? How we gonna do this? Well, here's a 10 to 15 year roadmap to becoming a multimillionaire, and it's a lot more simple than you think. Hi, I'm Nana, and here we talk about and implement all things real estate, entrepreneurship, and passive income. I started from zero to create 6 figures in digital products, and I'm growing a $1 million real estate rental portfolio for passive income. So on the channel, my goal is to share what I know to help others do the same. Now, I said 10 to 15 years because that makes this plan way more realistic. And you may be saying, girl, 10 years is a million years away from now. I need money now. Let me tell you, I went to sleep 30 years old and I woke up 42 in a flash, okay? The time will pass faster than you know it. So you may as well put your plan in order today so that you have the results by the end of the 10 years. There are so many things that I put off way back in the day because I thought, well, that's going to take me years to do, but the years go by way faster than you think, I promise you. But first, if you've been here before, you know that real estate is one of my favorite ways to build wealth. So I want to invite you to my free real estate training, How to Get Guaranteed Rent and Passive Income from Section 8 Investing without using your own cash, dealing with bad tenants, or government headaches. You can check out all the details and the link to sign up in the description box below. Okay, so you can do this plan without having an inheritance or even without having a crazy high-paying job. Though of course, the more money and more income you make, the easier it's going to be for you. So let's break down this simple framework to getting paid. Number 1 is to max out your Roth IRA annually. Now, if you have a job that has a 401k, you definitely, of course, want to contribute to that with your pre-tax dollars up to your employer match because that is basically free money. Don't sleep on this. Make sure you're putting that in so that you're getting the match. Then you want to first get a Roth IRA. If you don't already have one, go ahead and sign up for one and then max it out. So a Roth IRA is a tax-advantaged individual retirement account that allows you to contribute your after-tax dollars, and the money can then grow tax-free and be withdrawn tax-free in retirement and penalty-free under certain conditions. The maximum annual contribution as of right now to a Roth IRA is $7,000 for those that are under 50 years old and $8,000 for those who are 50 and older. And when it comes to withdrawals, you can generally withdraw your contributions and earnings tax-free and penalty-free after the age of 59 and a half, and the account has been open for at least 5 years. If you withdraw before that age and you don't meet the rules for a qualified withdrawal, then the IRS may tax your returns and possibly impose a penalty. So if you don't have to, you don't want to do that. Step 2 is to buy 4 to 6 rental properties. And you can totally do this within 10 years a lot more easily than you think. So the most simple and straightforward way is to buy a home as your primary residence with a low down payment, say using a 3.5 FHA loan or use a grant or down payment assistance program for that first property. Then you want to live in that property for 1 to 2 years, and then go ahead and rent it out and buy another property using your equity appreciation from the first one. So do the same thing every couple of years and you will have between 4 and 6 rental properties at the end of 10 years. So let's say each is worth $350,000 on the super low end, because we know how much inflation is and how much things cost these days. But on the low end, that's between $1.4 and $2.1 million in real estate assets. And let's say they make around $500 to $1,000 a month in passive rental cash flow. That could be anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000 to $6,000 a month in passive income and cash flow for you and your family. And so for a lot of people, this can cover a lot, if not all of your monthly expenses, depending on your personal situation. Step 3 is to pay off any high interest debt and stay out of debt. Now, I know for a lot of this can be a little more challenging, but high interest debt to me is anything over 10%. That is just killing your income and cash flow every month. And anytime I have paid off high interest debt, it literally feels like getting a pay raise, because now the money that you were using to pay your credit card every month or whatever loan that was can go back to your disposable income, and you can do with it whatever you want to or need to. So the two main ways you can pay off high interest debt are going to be the debt snowball method and the avalanche method. Now, I won't go too deep into detail on them because there are a ton of videos out there, or you can let me know if you want me to do a separate video breaking down the methods step by step. But in a nutshell, with the debt snowball method, you list your debts in order from smallest to largest, and you pay them off in that order. So this is great for quick wins and really a boost of serotonin to make yourself feel good, because you can usually knock off those smaller debts a lot faster before getting to the big mamma jamma ones, and it's a great way to stay motivated. With the avalanche method, you instead list your debts from highest interest rate to lowest interest rate, and you pay them off in that order. So you're making sure you're paying the high interest first. This method will save you a lot more money in the long run because you're saving on interest over time, the interest that you would pay over time if you did the other way, which makes more sense to some people. But if your high interest debt is one of your larger debts, it can also be discouraging for some people as well. So it really depends on your personality and your priorities on which method is going to be best for you to choose. The fourth thing you want to do is drive a paid off car. Now, the average car payment for a new vehicle right now is $735 a month, which is already 3% higher than the previous year. So the payment amounts just keep going up, especially with inflation. And depending on how much you pay every month, you could take that $735 and put it towards your retirement savings, your savings for your next rental property, or even paying off high interest debt that you might still have depending on your circumstances. And once you've paid it off, it's just like you got a $735 a month pay raise, because now you can use that money for whatever you want. The final method that I would say is more of an option is to own a paid off home. And this is more in line with a 15-year plan versus a 10-year plan. So this paid off home could be your primary residence or a rental property. I personally prefer it to be a rental property, so my tenants' payments are the ones that are slowly but surely paying off the mortgage and paying off the property versus my own personal income. Now, a way you can do this is by treating your 30-year mortgage more like a 15-year mortgage and making payments that are higher than what you are required to pay on your 30-year monthly mortgage payment and what that amount would typically be. So you can do this by calculating the amount you'd pay per month if you were to pay the mortgage off in 15 years as opposed to 30 years. And then you want to make your automated monthly payment the higher calculated amount. So you can set it and forget it and not leave it up to you having to be disciplined every month to make that higher payment amount, because if you leave it to your own devices, you probably won't do it. So set it and forget it and automate it. And notice I said treat your 30-year mortgage like a 15-year mortgage and not to go out and get an actual 15-year mortgage. The reason being, is that I prefer to still have a 30-year so that if anything changes up, things get tight, the market goes crazy, or you just change your priorities, maybe have another baby and need to pay $1 million for daycare, etc. If you haven't noticed and can't tell, I'm about to have another baby and they are expensive, though awesome. You know, if you have that situation come up, you're not still forced and required to pay that higher amount that you would be on a true 15-year mortgage. Because once you sign up for that, that's it. You have to pay those higher payments every single month. No ifs, ands, or buts. But instead, when you do it this way, you have the flexibility to adjust as needed. Now, again, if you want to learn my exact real estate strategy, be sure to check out my free real estate training, How to Get Guaranteed Rent and Passive Income from Section 8 Investing Without Using Your Own Cash, Having Bad Tenants, or Dealing with Government Headaches. Go ahead and check out the description box below for the link to sign up and all of the details. All right, y'all, now that you know the method to becoming a multi-millionaire in the next 10 years, check out this next video here, because when you pair it with the information that you just learned, you are going to be unstoppable. Can't wait to see you.